Welcome to Changfied YouTube channel, your trusted source for latest update across South Sudan and beyond. In today's update, we'll bring you major stories from South Sudan, Kenya, and the region. We take a deeper look at climate change funding and trade disruption, a painful court decision, and serious security concern in Jonglei state. Before we start with this top story, please help the channel by subscribing and turn on the notification bell so whenever we upload a new video, you can be notified. Let's begin this story with South Sudan secure 50 million for flood resilience. South Sudan has received a major boost in the fight against flood. The Green Climate Fund has approved $50 million for a new climate project that will help people living in the most flood-affected areas of the country. Japan also added $2.5 million to support the work. The project will be carried out by the Ministry of Environment and Forestry, the World Food Programme, and UNHCR. Activities are expected to begin early in 2026. Environment and Forestry Minister Mabio Gareng de Mabur called this a historic achievement. He said it took almost 10 years of working with global partners, especially since South Sudan joined the Paris Agreement. The goal of the project is simple: protect communities from flooding, improve water management, support smarter farming, help people adapt to climate change, strengthen early warning and disaster system, support displaced families and host communities. The target locations are northern Barghazal and Warab state areas that have been hit by heavy seasonal flood years after years. The minister explained that this new investment follow earlier smaller grant, including a readiness grant of $300,000 in 2018. He said the March 2025 visit by the GCF executive director played a major role in securing this larger funding. According to officials, the project will support more than 500,000 people directly and help over 1 million people indirectly in the next 5 years. This includes farmers, elder, displaced families, women, children, and communities that have repeatedly faced flood disaster. UN agencies involved in the project also praised the funding. World Food Programme WFP Deputy Director Adam Efen said the money will improve the ability of communities to plan, recover, and build stronger futures. He said the project focused on people who face displacement, loss of land, and destroyed home because of flooding. UNHCR also welcomed the project. Their deputy representative Masfin Degafu Gubai say many families have suffered for many years losing crop, home, and loved one. He called the investment an important movement for South Sudan. The project will include early warning alert, stronger shelters, better water and farming system, planting 100,000 trees, new community-driven adaptation program, improved land and water management. The government said this fit into South Sudan's long-term plan to prepare for climate challenges and support communities before disaster struck. This story shows how climate change continues to affect life, but also how partnership planning and investment can bring hope to vulnerable communities within South Sudan. Let's take a look at the second story. Kenyan clearing agents suspend service, South Sudan imported disrupted. Trade between Kenya and South Sudan has faced a sudden disruption. At the port of Mombasa, clearing and forwarding agents have halted their service after South Sudan introduced a new fee of $3,580 US dollar per container. Kenyan media report that the clearing agents were not consulted before the new directive was issued. They say the South Sudan Revenue Authority sent the instruction without involving the people who actually handle the cargo. Roy Mawasi, a representative of the agent in Mombasa, said the decision did not follow diplomatic or international procedures. He added that the SSRA issued the order unexpectedly, leaving many agents confused. The SSRA notice also cancelled the $5,000 container deposit fee. This fee previously served as a guarantee to ensure containers were turned in good condition. Removing it, agents argue, could cause serious challenges for transporters. The SSRA now requires all South Sudan-borne cargo to have a maritime container release one-time password. Cargo cannot be released without this OTP, which must be generated through South Sudan's online portal. According to SSRA, the purpose of the new rule is to improve accountability, traceability, efficiency, monitoring of all goods entering the country. However, agents and traders fear delay, losses, and confusion as long as the suspension continues. Because South Sudan is landlocked, it relies heavily on Mombasa port for almost all imported goods. Any disruption can quickly affect the availability of essential items in the market, from food, building materials, and fuel, to medicine and household items. South Sudan also cannot easily reroute trade through Sudan because the war there continues. If the standoff continues, both countries could face economic pressure. For now, traders are waiting for clarity between the South Sudan Revenue Authority and the clearing agent in Mombasa. Both sides say they are open to dialogue, but no clear date have been given. Let's move on to our third top story. Family of a slain woman reject Court of Appeal ruling. This is a sad story. In Juba, a painful legal case has resurfaced after the Court of Appeal overturned a death sentence related to a murder case. The case concerned Bobby Lungar, an officer of the National Security Service. In June 2022, Lungar shot and killed his wife, Rebecca Anyon, and another man whom he suspected of being involved with her. The killing happened at the Bedouin Hotel in Juba. In December 2022, the High Court found him guilty of murder and sentenced him to death by hanging. However, the Court of Appeal has now changed the ruling. They dismissed Lungar's claim of self-defense, but they accepted that he acted under severe sudden provocation. Because of this, they changed the charges. They changed the charge from murder to quasi-international homicide, also known as culpable homicide. A retrial has been ordered, and the lower court has been directed to consider reconciliation during sentencing. The decision has deeply upset the victim family. Their lawyer, Advocate Tong John Clement, released a strong statement criticizing the ruling. He argued that the killing was intentional and deliberate, not a movement of provocation. The lawyer said the accused brought a gun aim and fire multiple times at unharmed people. He said this showed clear intention to kill. He also warned that the ruling could set a dangerous precedent for gender-based violence cases. According to him, personal dispute in relationship cannot justify taking someone's life. The family say they will take the case to the Supreme Court, which is the highest legal body in the country. They believe justice must be served for their loved one. For many South Sudanese, this case raises important questions. How does the justice system treat domestic violence? Should a provocation lower a murder charge? What message does this send to victims of gender-based violence? The family say they will continue to fight until the Supreme Court gives its ruling. Let's move on to another breaking news. SSPDF airstrike reported in Ayut and Uproar in Jonglei State. Please help the channel by subscribing, turn on the notification bell, so whenever we upload a new video, you can be notified. This next report is very important. Serious concern have been raised in Jonglei State after authorities confirmed a series of reported aerial bombardment in part of Ayut and Uproar counties. According to Simon Udwell, the State Minister of Local Government and Law Enforcement, explosions were hit in multiple areas, and early information suggests that some civilians may have been killed and property destroyed. Well, he said the bombardment took place in Mogok area, Normanyang Payam, Peri area, Lankan town. He said officials on the ground are still collecting full details. When contacted, SSPDF spokesperson Major General Lu Ray Kong said he was not aware of any military operation in the area and suggested following up with the state authorities. This report airstrike come months after the Norway Army used overrun an SSPDF base in Nasser County earlier in the year. Following that incident, the SSPDF and their ally, the Uganda People Defense Forces, conducted airstrike in several areas of Upnal State. Ulanga Nasser area, largely inhabited by the Jikain Nur community, have faced repeated aerial attacks since then. Community members in Ayut and Uproar say they heard loud explosion and saw smoke rising from the affected areas. Some families have begun fleeing to nearby villages for safety. Local leaders say they fear this attack could escalate violence in an already unstable region. Humanitarian groups have not yet released statements, but concerns are growing. Civilians may have been injured or killed. Schools and some could be destroyed. Displacement may increase. Fear is spreading across local communities. State officials say they will release a full report once field assessment returned. This has been Changfied News, bringing you detailed coverage of major events in the country and the region. We will continue following these stories and updating you as more information become available. Make sure you like, follow, and subscribe to Changfied for more news and update. Bia Kamal Gwase meka Changfied YouTube channel to konkalere to de konkaling bana ling ni main point ni ketin konalat karodian. Ray wika South Sudan cha Georgia Gwanu and Wale chi South Sudan chicken yuri shop ke 500 million US dollar chicken ke jek ka funding me cha kam ke quick green climate fund wa cha 500 million US dollar cha ka approve ka climate change project na me tuogare wujo mo ko juba wa chi Japan ba chicken yuri shop ke 2.5 million US dollar chicken ke tuk anyo gwaseme wapor jagame bajelat Minister of Environment and Forestry ke World Food Program ke UNHCR ke active entity bagalat ke Rwon 2026 Ramadan la Kuer Environment and Forestry Minister Mabur Gareng de Mabur chelaro neme a historic achievement ko cha yut chirkirite cha gajeko biken nyoch biken tuk re duarien te gwal mishalar no ba nyoje me baje tukten dora shal kame Nosrin Bargazal kana Warab State kan gota kona chalare no ba moch ke bari alaka ko bi kan nyoj bi kan tu ban chong gwasa mo ko mishir kana mo lerdian gwasa me bala dung mutwogo ke ki kwangti la no ka dora shal kame Mombasa ke Kenya kwangti la ka kan ke ba kan ka South Sudan tradery la kan we ke Kenya bi kan ko bi kan go kan ka Mombasa port bi kan ko kula nang dora shal kame South Sudan men chukulu tuok jene gwaseme chala de wonene ka jodan chalat wacha kwak chaka pinetam kume Kenya wachi South Sudan te gmi chikana lat la te mi chikana introduce mi la mi chamnok anete kona te Kenya and winemi wacha youth shop ke 3580 US dollar chaka gor per container la kwaka tin shala da South Sudan no bikan youth shop ke 3580 US dollar bukan ka Europe ngeje na mo charge lok ki nyane kene kontila e jene e kene me yude ti chi kan yula yur ka pinywen ka kuje mo kuin ne mandana le rode so chi kan loko no ba kwak ba kan nangre wich ka juba so ne me awa mi bej ko mi cha kana sha kwak sha ganang awa kwak bu ka gegen wini mi ka bana bu ka chui de wi ki juba ko tel kon me ba nang re wi ki juba chen ngai kona la po da mom chal ka Mombasa mo kan kwak dial kon la kwak South Sudan jala ka nun ka jemo ba ga nun rar ba ga nun ja bu ku le shobre wi ka South Sudan mi ta jojo gwan won tam ci kan kwak ki kan ga pen te mi bej mi bu tore wi ka South Sudan men yam wal la ka nun ka kare yer ka gwasmo mana dien kwak ri cham ka nun ka gwasmo beni ene dor kwa ka nun kare yer ke kwa nun ka do mo mi be mo ke Mombasa mi jojo gwan wo cha yu cha ga nyo mi yo ka pin ku mi South Sudan she jeni ka la no cha kwak te cha bana na madalla la kel mi de yana din ler dian gwasme ler mi shalat gwasme shi mane wut ka me shi da nakane wude shaka jekel rewe ki juba shiga gag dio je chana report chana je linga no ne te ke wud mi shi da che na ko kor gwase dan ka ron kin dang ro jen dang ro de ro me che shigda jek alo cha je twaje wudo dien chu wudo mo chu den na ka chu shigda ba chu nyoko mi na ga je kor wudo mo chale Bobby Longar jen cha chu yen aramkel miler la National Security Service ran kume chu shigda chu ena shigda chale Rebecca Anyon ka chu wudo dien chu nyoko mi na ga je ka gwaze dan me cha lu cha je luk cha je no jen che ber che je lar ko charan che je luch ke che na che ka nak an wan mo chwayo kep ka chwaye sentence ko jen ba jang ap ki ba je nak But time chung wan chi den nyok meger Carodian. Tineten konen kwai defend kalaro no. Wuda me charge benak. Ko jen me dane naga nakaje wajen ne ter share to baj baran tam chude cheben mununo jen charge de le gorno de jamoch kare ki de janak. Ko jen te kam chalka provocation wate gwadi dan la wide chenyon. But chikalado ne baje twitch kam la chalka mu side no chiran chinak ba yeneji karun ba ikulun charan cha benakaje. Bana me chagu generating kon la shi mane nyal kan shi mane wutka anona me shi chong shi ga galat kano me shi jen bunewa ka higher court rewi ki juba ki supreme court ko generating kon te lat kaluk kan la wo nyok ka do be dan chagu jenob de jen nak wude me kan ku kan support no wud ma na ko jen te dor che jelat lat kan no ne akan wude me jena kamai ka jen National Security Service ngaje me lade jena kamai ka choma choja kamrar ka choja dwai gudemo jode dial kyo ga dwa shek na gudemo ka choga na kan dial menyo do jen lade je ngaje so ngum de pele ken man chala da ken che chuong so ka kuje mo kan bu wo wonyam na me da la report me de yenelen a chana ben kale rejo gwasme gwal mi CSS PDF shiken na tiken ga bungnwere ka yut kan Uproar na me very serious dor shal ga me Jonglei state ka jo chala gwasme Simon Usdwal yala do nene Simon was jaram dan la state minister of local government ka law enforcement kene shi kaman mi di kana ne gwada dana chana chaga buktin gwada buga na tana dor shalke magog area norma nyang payam pire area lanken town kan gwada ti cha buga ne kume chinaro ke wuri shalke me general lure kong ramdan la SSPDF spokesperson she denied we are not aware of any military operation in the area wal sha video ne shaga nyona wan mitu video ne tikitin gwada na bogre na tin kai jene kujje amdan le roda so ne me agenta situation le roda mono kaneto quicken madan le roda chala do dia go jeno te gane rishanak ke tlan wari bat kari pot kanano so ne me le roda re wichin winimi me de kontek long ko de koneling eno kume moraike akirme yadit ngoda weka mbogon wari ne me da la jen jodan yeneling an biata ga malban jigala rien bye bye